going here. I think we're recording now. So with the membership overview, the ideal time to do this is right when somebody gets product. Okay, when their product initially shows up, whether they're a customer or a sharer, or sometimes people call them builders, regardless of which one, we want to make sure we do a membership overview with them immediately, okay? And then let me go and let me share my screen here and see if this is going to work. Can you guys see that? Oh, sorry.
Not yet.
That's because I need to hit share screen.
That always helps.
Do this stuff. Okay, share screen. Oh, cool. Tells me which one I want to share. Give me 1 second here. Okay, you guys can see that?
Yeah, it's popping up. There we go.
How about that?
Yeah.
You may need to move your, if everybody's up here in this corner, you might need to kind of shift that around so you can see some of the slides if you need to move some of the little images of the people. So let me take you to the moment in time when this happens. Let me go back a little bit, okay? So before somebody purchases product, they go through, what's called a buyer's guide. We won't go into that on this training, okay? You get to the end of the class, you ask them if they want to set up their wholesale membership. Just pretend you're in Costco and somebody's thinking about joining Costco, okay? Would you like to set up your wholesale membership? Yes. Here's the order form. You see it right here. As they're doing that, we have to plant the seed of this membership overview. And it looks a little like this, okay? So here's the distributor agreement. You're at that point in the process when somebody's about to enroll. And then we say something. You might have to move your pictures out of the way if you can't see that. Okay,
No, we're good.
I'm actually having trouble seeing it myself. Let me move this down a little bit. So it basically says, you can drag the things to the bottom. I just learned. If you want to just drag all the pictures to the bottom. Our next step is to schedule a membership overview to show you how to manage your orders and get the most from your membership. When are you available? Okay. If you don't schedule the membership overview while they're actually signing up, what do you guys think the statistics are of trying to get that membership overview even like the next morning, right? Or the next day, the following day? The statistics are pretty low that you're actually going to get something. When you're face to face with somebody, that is the moment to just kind of put your arm around them and say, I'm here to set up your membership overview. Time it with when their product's going to be showing up. If they're ordering on a Monday, you think their product's showing up on Friday, schedule it for Friday so that they know you're coming over to now show them how to get the most from their membership. I think we all want to know how to get the most from our doTERRA membership, don't we? But unless somebody explains it to us, right? So that's what you say right then as they're literally filling out the order form. Can't impress that enough upon all of us here on this call. Why do we do membership overviews? We've alluded to it a little bit, or we've talked about it. Okay. Follow-up is the key in any sales endeavor, including doTERRA. If we're not following up, we're leaving stuff on the table. It's 100% true, okay? So it's follow-up. This is another reason. The LRP, loyalty, rewards, and volume. What I'm learning is that if you're talking about LRP during the class or the one-on-one that you do with your friend while they're signing up, it's like information overload. It's too much. If they happen to know about LRP and they ask about it, well, that's a different story. But your average individual, we're just trying to get them enrolled and let them and get them prepared for their membership overview. Talking about LRP is appropriate during the membership overview. I don't think we should be really discussing it before that because there's too much information for people. Okay. The other thing the membership overview does is it starts to develop this camaraderie, this friendship between you and the person you signed up, I mean, look at, you're actually taking time out of your day to go and visit with them to kind of give them first class service on this overview. I can tell you from first-hand experience that being in the sales industry and business that I come from, there isn't much of that going on. When the sale is made, like commission check comes in, they're gone, right? Like how much is there of this connected feeling of membership overview? So the person's going to hopefully feel like, wow, this person really cares about me enough to take the time to come and show me all about the oils and about the overview and all this and that. So, and we are in the relationship building business. John, feel free to jump in anytime as well. So I'm going on this stuff. If you've got thoughts and ideas that pop in your head, in fact, anybody, if you've got questions and stuff, like, let me know. I do want to try to stay on topic as much as possible, but if you've got a question that's just burning in your mind, please address it. Here's the other thing that the wellness, the membership overview does. It'll help you because there's a little snippet, which you'll see here in another slide coming up. There's just a teeny little bit of discussion about there might be a way to maybe make some money with doTERRA, right? But just a little bit. We don't go heavy on that during the membership overview. That membership overview is literally dedicated to helping that person, whether they're a sharer or a customer, understand that we truly believe in the product. We really are okay, 100% okay, if they only ever buy product and they never ever want to do any part of the business with us. I think the membership overview is our way of saying to them, we're okay with that. And we're not going to try to chase you to do the business. That just being a customer is good enough. And that's what 85% of doTERRA is made up of, is customers. We're now going through some of the slides here on the membership overview. This is the very first page. Now, they sell these materials. John and I can kind of start to disseminate where you guys can obtain these materials. Some of you on the call already know where to get these, but that's kind of for a different training. EdgeSuccess.com is really the leading website for that. But all of these forms are standardized now. It's a system that we use, and it's amazing. So here's what the first page is. And let's zoom in on some of these parts here. You might have to move your pictures. So during the overview, this is the top part of the first page. We're just going to write down their ID. We're going to write down their password. This might sound simple. And this might sound like, why would I write down their membership ID? Why would I write down their password? The best way I can explain this is, for every one person that you do this with, it's as if that's happening to possibly 10 to 20 other people over the next 2 years that you now do not have to do that with, because this person here will do that for you. That's what we call leverage. You want your organization doing the same thing that you do. And so imagine 2 years from now, 3 years from now, when you've got 2,000, 3,000 people in your organization, and you took the time to do this the right way with each person. Now you're going to have 2,000 people all out there doing this, and now you're getting paid on those efforts. That is why we never overlook the simple steps that might seem like, oh, this is dumb, I'll just have them fill this out on their own. But I wouldn't do that. I would do this with them. So that's the first part there. Then you look at the bottom part of the page. Now we start talking about loyalty rewards, and we're able to have a genuine conversation with somebody about the program. And so now it's not like they've already signed up, so that whole like little hurdle is done. No pressure on that. Now the spotlight is totally on doTERRA's amazing rewards program for its loyal customers. And this just sort of starts to, we're just dipping our foot in the water here and letting them know about this program. I would actually read some of it word for word on this and not try to skip over anything. This is your time. Hopefully you've allotted, 45 minutes or something, or maybe an hour for this membership overview. And so don't try to feel like you're going to rush through it. Look at all those green check marks over there with the loyalty rewards and only one check mark in the standard order. So you're going to start teaching people, hey, when you're going to put an order in, let's make sure it's an LRP order. They won't remember this and what you're telling them, but at least you're planting the seed, okay? So you go through the LRP and start talking about all the benefits of the LRP on that first page. The very first thing we talk about in the membership overview, and the frequently asked questions there at the bottom. I would just read those. In fact, I just did one of these the other day in Spanish. They have these materials in Spanish as well. I literally just read it right off of the page, which hopefully made the lady feel like I wasn't anything special, that even she could do something like that, right? My efforts are easily duplicatable. Okay, those are some of the frequently asked questions. I won't go to all of them here, but it's important to just go through these with people. Let them now ask those questions and let that guide the conversation. So on the left there is page 1. Then we start moving into the personalized wellness plan. This is so genius of doTERRA to do this. Notice that you're going to start introducing your customers to this wellness pyramid, okay? I know some people don't like the word pyramid, but it seems to work in doTERRA that people are still making a lot of money, so I'm just going to go with it and not really get tripped up over the reference to the pyramid. So I'm totally past that point. And if I brought something up, that's my bad. If you weren't even thinking about that, that's me bringing in my limiting beliefs. So, but look at this bottom level here. We want to first teach our customers that doTERRA has an amazing plan for them to just eat right. Then we want to talk about, exercise here, rest and manage their stress, then reduce toxic load. Then we get to these very specific things up here. The LRP, the Loyalty Rewards Program, and the membership overview is to really help somebody understand how they can get their needs met when it comes to that wellness pyramid. This is the bottom part of the other page. Don't skip over this part here. Hopefully you'll have a pen in your hand to hand to them and say, let's take a few moments right now and let's write down some of your top 3 health goals. So they write them down. I want to lose weight. I want to have more energy or whatever. Like, I would literally wait until they started writing stuff down. When somebody writes something down, the brain does something. But don't skip over this part here. This is their membership overview. This is the whole reason why you're over there. Notice that you have a morning, afternoon, and evening part of that overview. And remember that morning, afternoon, and evening as we go through the rest of this document. Those will start to stand out, and I really like how they've broken this down. Okay, we flip the page, and first of all, the colors are amazing. That these images are they just bounce right off the page, and I feel very comfortable and very confident in my literature. I've had some literature at some moments, not in this company, but other ones where I was embarrassed to even take it over to the person because this looked atrocious, This stuff is nice. It's glossy, looks good. Just look at those carrots and the greens. Doesn't that it just looks alive? It just looks like it's alive, like we're ready to talk about living here.
Hey,
on this page,
let me chime in for one second.
Yeah, please.
And one thing I want to mention here, in case it's crossed anyone's mind, but also to set the tone for this in the future, in case it will when you give one, is if you're anything like me, my worry and limiting belief would also be that, which you would take in energy-wise, etc., would be that, these people think I'm selling them more stuff. So I want to make a point that this is all intended as educational for them, for their future. And so think about that moving forward, because they just acquired, purchased products with doTERRA. And now we're not sitting here saying, oh, by the way, now you need to get this, 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 and this. No, it's simply educating them on what their entire membership entails, because they could have only noticed, I love these oils, so I got these. But now you're just opening up their mind more. And I know that was said in the beginning, but as we go through this, maybe that is what you would think and say, if we didn't mention that now, maybe you would go into it thinking, Oh man, I'm feeling like I'm selling them more stuff. Well, first of all, you're in a for-profit business, so that's good. But the real point of this is actually just to educate them once again for their future in doTERRA.
Excellent comments, John. And that's so true that, yeah, we're not trying to load them up. We're just really talking about the membership overview and what that is. Give me 1 second, everyone. 1 second here.
So I'll keep going with this until Randall comes back because, keep in mind, and I'm sure we'll talk a little bit about this at the end, but I can bring it up now. I want people to be thinking moving forward. Absolutely. We get someone that purchases a kit. Once again, really for us, it doesn't matter if they're going to be a customer or a wellness advocate actively sharing. Because if we go in thinking this way, then absolutely, we know that their, future is going to be stronger in doTERRA, whatever they choose to be. But I also want to point out, maybe bring up, hey, imagine all the people that are already in the business, whether they are customers or wellness advocates sharing, whether they do make frequent orders or they don't. Imagine what this could do for them just as an educational thing. So keep that in mind too. Is this only for new people? No, absolutely. Someone could have been in doTERRA as a customer forever and still completely appreciate this and get educated on what their membership that they do have still entails.
I'm glad you brought that up, John, because obviously that was a big light bulb for us that went on, and we said, wow, imagine all the people who are in, we see them ordering every couple of months or 3 months or so. They're not doing the business. And I don't believe I've ever given them an official membership overview. So, that's an excellent point. As we return here to this PowerPoint, I like to point out this, this green line here, that's the base of that pyramid. And so you're talking about nutrition right from the beginning. Most of them don't even know we have nutritional products. So you might take a minute and start talking a little bit about Lifelong Vitality. It's 30-day money-back guarantee. Most people just like to order supplements. You'll be happy to know that the number one product on LRP within Natalie Goddard's organization, which we're in, is the Lifelong Vitality. She said that is the most consistent product on LRP in her entire organization, which is about 1/3 of the company. So I imagine the other 2/3 probably looks about the same. So just keep that in mind. Notice the morning, afternoon, and evening. They're really trying to help people see the value of having a plan put together. As we go over to the diet and exercise page, look at this line right here that now brings in the exercise. Just how it's laid out, it just pops. It kind of shows people, okay, we took care of eating right over here. Now it's time to go to level 2 of the pyramid. Oh, and look, doTERRA's got an amazing set of products that might be able to assist you here. You might feel like your customer's taking you in a certain direction. Just go with that. Don't feel like you have to literally read every single word on all of these pages. Those initial pages, I think it would be important to read a lot of those words with the LRP. Once you start getting to these pages, just kind of give a summary of what's going on and see if they're being drawn towards one thing or another. Okay. See if I can get this advancing here.
And, so I'm going to cut in just 1 second and say, I love that point because we need to be listening to them because they can guide you, right? They could be asking a question inside of, guiding you. They may not come right out and say it too. So it might help you ask better questions depending, on what they say. Because is it possible that something is not completely relevant for them or literally of no interest? Well, how would you know that if you're not really listening to where they're kind of guiding you? Now, of course, if they're not guiding you in any way, that's no problem. Yeah, absolutely show them, take them through everything.
Sure.
But I like that point because it's not about us getting through this membership overview so that we can exhale leave their house and exhale. It's literally go in with the intention of educating them and helping them find what they need.
Yep, exactly. Perfectly said. So let's see if what else we've got here in this membership overview. Hit the screen. Give me 1 second. Okay, these are the next pages here. On the left, we've got look at rest and manage stress. And now we're on the third level of that wellness pyramid. You can talk about diffusing. You can talk about the emotional aromatherapy system that's out there that really doesn't get touched on in the class. You can talk about boosting their immunity with everyday living. This is the reducing toxic load one that starts at the bottom of that left page and goes to the next one. We went through that. There's even boxes there where they might check, oh, I want to try motivate, or, oh, I want to try passion. Have them with their pen out, just right now, checking those things off, So, and then we move up into the boosting the immunity and go maybe a 30-day cleanse is what they'd be interested. Hey, Rusty, you're unmuted, just so you know. And have them.
Oh, sorry.
That's fine. Have them go through. People might have said, hey, I've heard about these 30-day cleanses. What are these things all about? And maybe you find some additional information on that to guide them through. So I love how this is just kind of zooming into different parts of it. Give them an opportunity to see, oh, I didn't know you guys had toothpaste. I had no idea about laundry detergent. Kind of just let them do, like John said, let them kind of do the leading and the guiding of where they want to go. So that's a little bit about the membership overview. This is still part of the membership overview here, and you may not know what this means here, the walking through the third door. But in the system that we're now training on, there's 3 doors of openness that we're looking to explore with people. And number 1 is, are they open to learning about essential oils? Number 2, are they open to using essential oils? And number 3 is, are they open to sharing essential oils? And so that's what they mean by walking through the third door with the invitation. So at the end of this is the back page of the membership overview. It gives you an opportunity to now maybe just do a little exploring on whether they might be open to eventually maybe sharing with other people. We don't say building. We don't say, do you want to go make money with doTERRA? If they're literally a customer, it just says something like, share. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself on the page here. Make sure you write in this information. I just did one of these the other day, and I got out my pen, and I wrote down who their primary support was, the phone number, the email. I wrote down myself as the other support. I wrote down the weekly team calls, and then the Facebook group. I just think it's a personal touch. I mean, it's not like we're doing 20 of these things a day. So, I mean, if you're enrolling, a handful of people a month, I think that's definitely doable, but it's the duplication that you're going to really appreciate and love. So I would say don't skip over this part. Really give them what I call concierge type service. Let them know that you care about them enough to just do the smallest details. And I think that's what this allows us to do, right? That top part. Maybe let me go back a little second here. They're not going to zoom in. That bottom part there where it says share with others, this is the only part that you ever talk about possibly something income related in the membership overview. And it's a very simple one. I don't know if you can see that, but my bar is kind of blocking it, my Zoom toolbar at the bottom. But John, do you see that, or is yours blocking?
Yeah, no, we can. It totally depends on how you have your screen set up. I can see it just fine. One thing I want to bring up, like you said it perfectly. You don't skip over this section. So when I chime in and I say things, it's always to myself. Trust me, because I know how I think. I know where my hesitation would come in and my, my nervousness, like I'd get nerves and I'd be like, and the only reason why I that doesn't happen to me now is because I have a lot of experience doing it. The one thing that you said was so great, not skipping over it, I just kind of had a thought go off in my head. You know that this is at the end of this. No idea what happens. Sorry, I think my connection's a little bit slow, but you have no idea what happens before then, right? You just talked with someone for 30, 45 minutes and you have no idea what was discussed. So when you get to that point, you don't know what went through their head. You don't know what kind of conclusions they drew. You don't know that maybe they had no idea they could host a class. Maybe they had no idea that they could even get free products. And there's one little box about making income with doTERRA. We don't know if we don't ask. So you can just simply say, hey, there are a couple options down here. Do you see yourself in any of these? You know, hosting a class might be a wonderful example to share some of these oils with other people. Hopefully you can hear me.
Yeah, you're good, John.
Okay. And then the second one would, are you aware that you can get free products? So I'd love to, if you want to know more about that, we can go into that. And of course, clearly, you know that I do this to make some extra income. If that's of any interest, do let me know. So I just want to point that out, not only not skipping it, but don't jump to conclusions because so much happened before this, it could have changed, throughout that 30, 45 minutes or however long it did take.
That's an excellent point. Now, if I'm helping my person complete this back page, I'm writing in those things, the support, I'm writing in those things. I might hang on to the pen and say, I ask them if they're open to sharing with others, and then whatever box they tell me, I'm actually going to take my pen and put a check mark next to that one as a confirmation of what they just told me. So if they're like, yeah, I'd like to, get some free products, I might go, okay, so let me just check that box there so we know you want to make free product. And I'm just demonstrating something to them. I'm affirming in writing what they're telling me they want to do. And then when can we meet, right? Date, time, location. These forms weren't created to just stay there in their blank status. If we'll fill them out and use them, I think that they're so much more powerful than we give them credit for. At least I'm speaking of myself personally, but I've changed, and now I'm actually seeing the power of filling out paperwork with someone. It makes them feel like there's benefit there, like you're doing something. If you just show up and you blast through this membership overview document in 10 minutes, and then flip it on the back and say, okay, fill that out later. When you get the information, fill it all out. And then look at the bottom. If you want to make money, just check which one and let me know. I mean, is that going to be effective? It's probably as effective as you felt as I was just rattling that off there. Like it didn't even matter, right? No big deal. Just do this. No one's going to fill that out the next day. You got to do it right then. And that's the duplication that you want in your organization. Let me just check a couple other slides here to see what we've got. That may be the end of it there. Okay. So if they say yes, that's the end of the membership overview. Yeah, that goes in the back office stuff. So I think that hopefully that was an important overview on what I'm hearing and what I'm learning is probably after enrollment, the single most important thing you can do for somebody in doTERRA is this membership overview. And frankly, I'll have to admit I'm guilty. I did not take it seriously in the beginning, but now I am. And just in the last 2 weeks in doing these, it's making all the difference. So, John, any other things that we want to bring up with the membership overview?
No, I mean, that's it. I think it's just going to be very, very valuable. So I look back and I say, hey, if we had that at the time that we got these people started, take that one experience that I told you about. We had about 8 people, one class, sign up, and obviously we know that they're all wellness advocates, but some intentions were just to be customers. Some intentions we don't know. And so guess what? They're all members. Okay. So that when we put someone in the system, you enroll someone in the system, they're all members. So they all deserve and have yet to have a free membership overview. And so that is something that we looked at. But then, like I said earlier, absolutely, it doesn't matter if we didn't do